Parents of Reddit, what is the best weird flex, but okay moment you've seen from your child? My 4-year-old son kept peeing on the toilet seat because he wouldn't hold his penis. I told him he had to start holding it, and his response was I can't hold it because it's too big, get it. Welp, after spending 7 years on Reddit, my most popular comment is now about my 4-year-old's penis. Thank you. When my son was potty training, I started letting him do the cleanup, then I'd have to finish. After a bit of this, he figured he was pretty well good to go on his own, and he was very big boy about it. So for the next couple of weeks, he'd do his thing, which always included stripping naked, then come running out to wherever I was, bend over with his cheeks spread, and shout, "Hey, mom, I wiped my butt all by myself. Look it." My 8-year-old son's doctor was trying to make him comfortable during an EKG by telling him he had to leave his ear with the doctor. They went back and forth for a while and finally the doctor said he would trade him the ear for a lollipop. My son said he would not give up his ear, but wanted the lollipop. The doctor said, "What? That is not a fair trade. What will you give me for the lollipop?" My son answered dead serious, "I get the lollipop and you get my respect." Not my kid, but a friend of mine was trying to teach his daughter to pick up her toys when she was younger. When she didn't do it one time, he told her he was going to throw away everything that was still on the floor. She picked them up and put them in the trash can for him. My wife brought my 3-year-old son to my job site since he really wanted to drive the excavator. So my uncle, who operates the excavator, lets him dig some holes and play around while sitting on my uncle's lap. He then comes up to me and says, "Daddy, I want to drive the excavator with you." I told him I don't know how to. "You have to go with your uncle." His reply, "It's okay daddy, I'll teach you," with the biggest smirk on his face. Had an Amber Alert hit my phone one night while my then 6-year-old was playing a game on it. She asks what that was, and I explained it's a message that gets sent out if a kid gets kidnapped. She looks at it again and sees it's for a town over 2 hours from where we live. She then asks me why they sent to if it's so far away. I said because they want everyone to look and find the kid. Wouldn't you want everyone to look if you got kidnapped? They want to find the kid so they don't get killed. She leans over close to my ear and whispers I'm very difficult to kill. I remember being about 6 to 8 and bragging to multiple strangers about how my older, red-headed and white sister, for context I was a little brown-haired, brown-eyed, brown-skinned child, was my full-blooded sister, but had a different last name, because I thought it was a cool fun fact about my family. Turns out she was a half-sibling and nobody told me until I was older. So, my 7-year-old has always been eccentric. I started keeping a log of some things she says in passing on my phone when she was 3, and there are some good ones I feel apply to this thread. Something smells like chocolate and it's coming from the inside of my mouth. Yeah, well, I can read blank spaces. Chickens have chicken in their bodies. Most of these are responses to her older sister bragging about something she did to excel in school. I'm the child here, but when I was maybe 3 or 4, I took a dump that was green, which was quite exciting to me at the time. I went and told my mom I just had a poop that was green, and she just told me next time make me a blue one. My son, who was 4 or 5 at the time, walked into the kitchen and said to my wife, "Give me my usual, but put it in a real glass." She's like, "What, your milk?" It was then we realized we had to rein in the iPad and Curse of Monkey Island. Just a couple days ago, my 2-year-old son woke up, so I went to change him. I pulled his Jamie pants off, then went to undo the diaper, and the whole time he has this look on his face, like he's waiting for something. I pull the diaper off the front of him, and boing, he's got a boner. He even smiled big, and threw his arms up at the moment of reveal, like tardy AAAAA. When I wasn't appropriately amazed, and merely continued with changing him, he pointed at it and said, loudly and forcefully, "That's mine." "Yes, my dear, that is your penis. Congratulations." When my son was small, he kept a notebook full of tips. Tips like, never wear a cowboy suit in Ireland, never stay at a hotel in the woods, when your parents ask you to do chores, pretend to be asleep, and they'll forget, always be good friends with a cousin. He has 38 first cousins, so no problem there. Always try really sick hard. If you invent something, don't test it out with a live Person don't pronounce mom like mom, say mom, it'll be cooler. Be scared of the middle of the Pacific Ocean, make your day better with seafood. Never say you are doing nothing to a parent. Never invite someone sick to your party. Don't use a pencil. Sick on thick and fancy paper. Never fight in a war. Always get the biggest bed. If you have a bad taste in your mouth at the beach, you may need mouthwash. Never eat nuts you find in your yard. There's 325 of these tips and they are all awesome. Edit. Yeah, he ripped the idea off the old Nickelodeon show Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I didn't learn that until much later, but the tips are all his. Thanks for the love. My son is a free runner in his spare time, so I often find him in weird places. He's 16 now, but even as a baby, I'd find him on top of the piano, at the top of the closet, etc. He could climb anywhere. Recently, I found him standing in the branches of a tree down the street, staring off into space. I asked what he was doing, and he said, "I'm just hanging out." Okay, man. Whatever works for you. Not a kid, but when I was 5, I had a mad crush on the 20-year-old daughter of this wealthy family friend of ours. I had asked for her hand in marriage and she agreed willingly. Playful to her, but fully serious on my part. She was carrying her soon-to-be groom when her mother confronted me. "You need to have money if you want to marry my daughter." I looked right into her eyes and without missing a beat reached into my little pockets and tossed her a penny. Her face priceless, my smirk flawless. My game never peaked again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and press like button.